The Department of Government Efficiency, better known as DOGE, is only a week old, but Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are already laying out their plan to slash government waste, trim the federal bureaucracy, and save money for taxpayers. On Wednesday, the duo laid out their strategy in the Wall Street Journal. We want to take a look at three key components of it really quickly for you. Okay, number one, axing regulations. Why is that so important? We've got almost $2 trillion worth of regulation in this economy every year. They want to get it out because it hurts small businesses the most. Okay, so how are you going to do that? Well, they've got a plan to restore the Constitution. The Supreme Court said the bureaucracy can't keep making rules that Congress didn't authorize. Vivek has said, great, we're going to roll back those rules and we're going to do it using executive orders because that's how we can get things done the fastest. And finally, reverse the bloat. You've got all these federal employees. They don't come into the office. We don't even know if we need them all to do the jobs that they're doing. Let's do a deep dive, Twitter style, when Musk walked into Twitter. Let's get rid of that bloat. Let's get back to something that taxpayers can actually afford. Buckle up, folks. This is government reinvention, Trump style. We've got Joe Livornia, SMBC chief economist, and Grover Norquist, Americans for Tax Reform president, here to help us out on this. Grover, I go to you first. Elon says, let's simplify the tax code. How do we do that?
Well, you can do a number of things. First of all, we ought to stop punishing people for Biden's inflation. We need to index capital gains to inflation so that when you buy a house and sell it, you don't pay for the inflation Biden put on that house or a small business. That both simplifies things and dramatically reduces the capital gains tax, makes us more competitive. We ought to go to a single tax rate in Washington, D.C. as quickly as we can. Bring those rates together so you have one single rate and people understand what's going on. 15 states now have a single rate tax. People live with that and they like it.
Simpler. Joe, we were talking in the break about sentiment, and there are some signs, and it was like this before with Donald Trump, too, that sentiment just changed when he came into office because people know that they're going to get things are going to happen. They're going to get something, but it's not going to be something bad that's going to come down the pike tomorrow. It's going to be something that helps them. That's what all these small business owners are saying.
In the first year of the Trump administration, they cut federal regulations, or in the Federal Register, as measured by pages, about 35%. You had low gas prices, low energy costs. You're cutting taxes, as Grover mentioned, and that's a pretty powerful dynamic for business sentiment. And the point I was making earlier offline was that if you look at small businesses, which account for about 40% of all hiring, under President Trump 1.0, you had the highest sentiment readings among small business owners that we've ever had. In fact, the index never went below 100, and it was higher under either Democrat or Republicans with data that go all the way back to the 80s.
What I love about this is we have tax experts and economists sit down and they both say, where is Bitcoin? Bitcoin's at $92,000. And Grover, what I love is you sat down and you had a really interesting thought about cutting or eliminating the capital gains tax on Bitcoin and expanding that to other commodities. Why and how?
Well, first of all, we need strategic minerals here in the United States. And we'd like them stored here, not someplace else. So we simply say, as long as you store it in the United States, strategic minerals, but also Bitcoin, because it's used as a currency. Bring it to the United States, and all we ask is if there's an emergency that the government could buy it at the real price, not an imaginary price, but the real price, and then you would not be punished for inflation, and all of those strategic minerals could be used as competitive currencies in the world as well.
Joe, let's finish this off real quick where we started. Small businesses, you're the economist, you know taxes. What do you want to see happen first for small businesses to help them launch?
The day one agenda where, through executive order, the president's going to deregulate, undo the previous administration's rules that were arguably very hurtful for business creation, certainly push the drill mantra. You know, I don't hate it. People talk about it a lot, but certainly pushing more energy exploration and drilling.
Yep.
And then also making the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, getting that 10-year extension on that will be very important.
Great stuff. Joe Livornia, Grover Norquist, not enough time with you, but we used the time well, and we appreciate that.